Hello, this is Daniela, and this is my commemorative speech. Most people we meet in this world are only in our lives for a short time. The ones that stick around and improve our lives for the better are a true gem indeed. They deserve all of the appreciation and love we feel towards them for sticking around throughout our lives. I would like to dedicate this speech to the person in my life who has stuck with me through thick and thin for 4.5 years, and also the love of my life, George. George is a very empathic, intelligent, and inspiring human being. He is the most incredible and interesting person ever, and I feel very lucky to be calling him my husband here in the near future. We have been through hell and back together, and the longer I'm with him, the more I'm growing to admire him. He is truly the brightest star of my life, and being with him has made me a better person. Probably his most unique characteristic he has is his ability to empathize with people. I think we do not meet truly empathic people very often, and when we do, they are a face that we tend to remember. George is one of these rare individuals. He is the best person to go to if you've had a bad day or a bad experience, as he will not just passively listen to you vent, but will actively listen to you and share in your emotions. Because of his empathy, he is also very willing to help out. There was one time we were on a ski trip, and I was just learning how to ski. I had a pretty bad fall down a slope, and one of my skis came off my foot. Being that it was a steep slope, I was having a really hard time positioning the ski in such a way that I could get my foot back into it without it falling off. George, who was a much more experienced skier than I, had already made down to the bottom of the mountain. But when he looked up and saw me, he actually took off his own skis and walked all the way back up the snowy mountain to help me out. We also happened to be right under a ski lift, and yells of, "You're a good man," and other comments followed him on his way back up the mountain. Finally, we did both make it with our skis back on, and we did make it down to the bottom of the mountain. But after this, he stayed behind me the whole time to continue to help me out if I needed it. This was so touching to me. His ability to care deeply and passionately leaves a huge impression on everyone he meets. This is one of the parts of him that makes him so unique and special. He also gives money to the homeless and is extremely attentive to friends and family. He leaves a hugely positive mark on each and every person he can meet. Watching how he treats others, watching how he treats me, I have learned how to treat him better too. Empathy is not something that comes naturally to me, and having him as an example has taught me so much about how to be a kind and understanding person. On top of being empathic, George is also extremely intelligent. He was accepted into the University of California, Davis, which is one of the most prestigious colleges in the United States. Despite having some personal issues causing him to take some time off, he was able to graduate early with his bachelor's degree in managerial economics. He currently enjoys reading about historical figures he admires, but his all-time favorite character is, and always will be, Batman. By our second date, he was already showing me his most current PlayStation 3 Batman game. If there's a video game about Batman, he's probably played it, and if there's a movie about Batman, he's probably watched it. There is no surprise that The Dark Knight is one of his favorite movies ever. Probably his biggest strength, though, is how people smart he is. He is very, very good at knowing when people are lying to him and when they are being subtly condescending. He will not let them get away with it, and will correct them on the spot. I have actually seen him do this from everyone to a random person at the bar, to good friends, and even me sometimes. He is a very good conversationalist. Talking to him tends to be very engaging and extremely entertaining. Oh, and have I mentioned that he speaks 4 languages and he's lived around the world? He comes from a Russian family, and this was his first language. They moved to California when he was 3 years old, and it was there he learned English. During high school, his family moved back to Belgium, where he picked up French and Spanish from his schooling and from playing soccer. After college, he worked as an accountant, but discovered he really wasn't a fan of the job. He always had dreams of becoming a lawyer and is currently turning that dream into a reality. Though he is skilled at arguing, he is also very surprisingly open-minded and very easily admits when he is wrong. This is a very admirable characteristic, as not very many people are capable of this. He is always constantly pushing to be the best, whether it's at his job, sports, or in life. He is currently in the Navy and has picked up rank extremely quickly and has achieved many qualifications much faster than most of his coworkers. He is always taking tests and pushing his supervisors to give him more responsibility in order to always be the best and to stay competitive among his peers. During sports, he is incredibly athletic and very, very determined. His entire life, he grew up playing soccer and wanted to be a professional goalie when he was older. Unfortunately, this didn't work out, but he still enjoys playing. I personally have been to several of his games and have seen him make some extremely impressive saves. He is also a natural at running, though he doesn't really like it. One time I talked him into running a 10K with me. This guy, who does not even like running, ran the fastest time in his age group and came home with a giant trophy. He is extremely competitive and always determined to win at everything from Mario Party games to mini golf. He has the attitude of a winner and does not give up easily, and this has caused him to achieve a great many things in his life. He is always constantly pushing me to be my best. One of his biggest desires is to see me do well in my life. He is constantly encouraging me to do better in school and gives me great advice when I need it. He is the best at solving problems quickly and efficiently. His support and encouragement have made him one of the best life coaches I've ever had. George has the ability to conquer the world. With his intelligence, he's not only book smart, but he's also people smart. His drive to excel and to be the best makes him a true inspiration. But it is his empathy for people that really makes him stand out among the crowd. George is a person that once you know, you will never forget. George, if I decide to show you this, know that I admire you for the person you are. I am so honored to be by the side of the most amazing person I've ever met. You lead me by example every day, and your influence is what keeps me going. Spending the future with you and learning even more from you is something I really look forward to, and I treasure every moment I get to spend with you.